All right, from the nosebleeds to the studio, I'm your host, LJ, and we are back with my brother, with the homie, the one and only Luke. Listen, I'll let you plug yourself, but I wanted to start off real quick with this is, the man, the myth, the legend. You've seen any of the HQ stories going on over these past few years, these player profile breakdowns. We got the Goga one. That's my favorite one, personally, out of all of them. But
it's mine too.
Yes, but we got
I think it is.
We got a new one that just dropped. If you want to tell the people what we got going on with that one.
Yes, go check out Inside the Heart and Hustle of Kentavious Caldwell Pope on Orlando Magic HQ. A lot of reporting went into it. It's a lot of words, but it's a lot of good words. I can guarantee you're going to learn something about Kentavious Caldwell Pope that you haven't learned before. And it's a great read. It's a little War and Peace, if we're being honest, but that's how I think most of you know me already. So go give it a read. Go share the article because it helps me a lot too. But a lot of hard work went into it. And I have a good feeling that you'll like it.
On that note, what would you say is the most interesting thing you found out during this interview process?
The most interesting thing that I found out throughout the interview process, truthfully, it's how much he loves, or I guess loved, but still loves the city of Orlando.
Yeah.
When he signed in, and this is just a sneak preview of what you'll read, but when he signed with the Magic, he really, really viewed this city as a place where he could settle down, raise his family. And like he had already enrolled his kids in school and everything. This was like a place where he could consider himself long-term. Like he's a huge family man. Everybody who's ever like seen KCP off the court knows how much of a family guy he is. And really a big part of Orlando was that, not just he could really see himself there, but he could also see his family there. And it had a good combination of that as well as a young, hungry team for a championship that he could help. Like I don't know if there's a narrative going around that people don't want to come to Orlando because of the city. People love Orlando, especially those who aren't from
there for a while.
There's a lot of people who whether they have been like live there or not, end up falling in love with the idea of living in Orlando because of the weather, because of the proximity to Disney, the idea of being, it's a good place to, no state income tax, like all these reasons to live in Orlando, and people do really want to come to Orlando, and that's really only increased now the Magic have a real identity for the first time in what feels like decade, give or take.
Well, no, more than that. Yes, for sure.
More than that.
Because even those brief playoff years with Vooch and them, it was always something missing.
What do you mean? That was the Game 1 Magic era. That was a pretty defined identity. What do you mean?
You're right. Identity defined. Just not the best one, I guess we'll say that.
No, sir.
All right. But yeah, man, like I said, shout out Orlando. Excuse me. Check out the article, OrlandoMagicHQ.com on X, all social media platforms. We're going to retweet my Twitter, at LukeScoshi34, as you see there, that handle there. And then ILJ, on all my platforms. We'll be retweeting that there as well. But again, before we continue this, also we want to give a quick shout out to our late friend, our late brother, Kieran Patel. This is a little somber not having him here for this one. This is the first or like second time we've done an episode, and it was always us three. We always tried to make sure we would us three as former HQ writers all together just try to get together and share our thoughts and our enthusiasm with each other. And we'll spend like an hour before we even get on air just talking, just chit-chatting. And it was a way to catch up. And Luke brought it up. It was feeling a little empty for a brief moment. So
yeah, I think this is the first one that I've been here for without Kieran. And again, we've always tried to do a podcast of just three of us, because I felt like all three of us, we have the same passion for Magic basketball, and we just really like each other a lot. And that sentiment hasn't gone away.
Yeah, from day one.
Even now that he's gone, but he's never really gone. He's somewhere up in the clouds, absolutely demolishing some poor soul's ankles up there. So I can't be too sad.
Yeah.
But man, we miss him every day. And yeah, absolutely.
No, for sure.
Rest in peace. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, bro. We love you. Just a little round of applause. But man, I know he'd be happy to see what the Magic did this offseason. And
he would. He would have loved Desmond Bane. He would have loved Desmond Bane.
Oh yes. On that note, it's kind of what we want to talk about today for this brief little recap episode of the offseason. Let's start there, man, with really the biggest one, the Desmond Bane trade. Initial thoughts. I don't think we actually ever discussed this. So when you got that notification on your phone, what was your first reaction?
The honest answer is
that's what we want. Come on.
The honest non-Magic fan answer in me, the honest journalist in me currently working on a story about the guy was, oh my God, this story is ruined. We are going to have a panic attack. All of these 13 interviews were for nothing. But we got it figured out. But after it took a second to, compose my thoughts, my first very immediate reaction was, oh my God, that is a lot of picks. For those of you who do not know, the Magic got Desmond Bane in exchange for Cole Anthony, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, the 16th overall pick in this past June's NBA draft, which was used on Yang Hansen, 3 first-round picks, one in 2026, which I believe is swap rights from either Phoenix or Washington, the lowest, 2028 and 2030, and a 2029 first-round pick swap, which is a top 2 protected swap. That is a lot of words and a lot of picks and a lot of years. It's specifically, I think it feels that way, or it felt that way at first, because we're not used to the Orlando Magic making aggressive moves like that. Jay, when was the last time you felt the Magic made a move like that this aggressively?
The realistic answer has to be trading for Rashard Lewis. I would have to say.
I think so too. It's either Rashard Lewis,
Vince Carter after that, actually, because after that finals run, they traded Courtney Lee, and that, I think that was the last time I felt like, okay, the Magic are trying to win the chip. Like they are doing what they can to win the chip. We got that close. Got that same feeling like, okay, this was a championship move. But I'll be honest, my first reaction was, whoa, for Desmond Bane? Like that was my, like to the point. All these years of buildup, we got to make a move. We don't make a move. The biggest thing in the last few years is trading for Markelle Fultz. And I mean, it worked out, slightly. Like I really did think that was, which aside, crazy that he's not on a team right now. I think that's
I think he should be there
asinine.
too.
Unfortunate. I still thought we should have resigned him as a third guard, if anything, but that's beyond there. But yeah, it's like other than that, we've always sat on our hands, and so for this to happen and it be Bane, I was a little disappointed. I think at first, like, damn, all right, so we emptied the cupboard for Bane, and then I thought about it as a logical basketball fan instead of just an over angst Magic fan, and it just made sense. And the more and more I tried to hate it, the more I ended up liking it. Which, if you know anything about the team and what we've been missing, perfect fit. Is the price a little steep to pay? Yes and no. When you see Luka got traded for 1 pick, that's when I think everybody's reaction's like, Luka 1 pick, Bane 4 picks. That's crazy. But Miles Bridges got traded for 5 picks. I think it was very obvious the Magic needed to make a move, so the price was going to be heavy no matter what. And I think honestly, we did the best with what we had, considering the other options out there. My dream ideal, I think I was just pining for Trae Young a little too much, little dream scenario, but loved it, man. Overall.
Oh man, I wanted Trae Young in that draft.
Oh yes,
yeah. But however, if you are going to push in your chips for anyone, Desmond Bane is the guy you do it for. He may not be the most talented tradable player, even though he is at bare minimum the like 95th percentile among that. He may not have been the first name that a lot of people would have thought of, but when you really think about it, he just makes the most sense for this Orlando Magic team. Because what have the Orlando Magic needed for what feels like forever now, especially now that you have 2 really, really good ball handlers in Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. You need somebody that can shoot the piss out of the basketball. You need somebody that can create a little bit off the bench, but doesn't need to be the guy that has to do that. You need somebody who can play make a little bit when necessary, and just at the very least be a really, really, really good connector piece and have a little bit and just be like smart with the ball. And somebody who can at least play a little bit of defense. I just described you Desmond Bane. I described him to you very, very well. Like, look at it. Like the 3-point shooting alone is the easiest thing to like really excite yourself with when it comes to Desmond Bane. Like, he is a career 41% from beyond the arc. Last season he was 39.2%, and his lowest was the season before at 38.1% was the lowest he's ever shot in a season in one of his 5 seasons of NBA basketball. That is higher than some guards on our team that only have like 2 seasons, and some guards that have like 7 seasons, like highest. Like, Desmond Bane is absolutely a shooter.
Yeah. They're not our guards, but in context to our best players, Paolo and Franz, their shooting numbers are atrocious.
Absolutely.
Franz,
especially,
18.9% from 3. I believe that was the play. I mean, that was the playoffs. So regular season,
okay,
those are skewed. I'm doing, but damn.
Yeah, because Paolo and Franz.
Crazy. Paolo did step it up in the playoffs. I think he shot 44. For the season, he shot 32. So big jump up from the regular season. Franz for the season shot, I think, shot around, so he shot around 32 as well. So they're both in the low 30s, so horrible. So for context, literally, even the 38 at the low is a huge help for us right there.
Absolutely. And the thing with Powell and Franz is that this is a basketball team that is built around having them as primary creators.
Yes.
And the issue with the Orlando Magic and why we kind of got beat a lot in the playoffs by teams like Boston is because we needed to, is that we had no choice but to force Paolo and Franz to be in positions where they needed to do off ball and on ball, because, or at least in the shooting side, because nobody on that team could reliably shoot. And that's what Desmond Bane is. And I know last year we played this exact same song and dance with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Sure.
Yeah.
But Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, that was the guy who had always been a really, really, really good shooter. But I'm pulling up right now. Yeah, he had some really, really, really good seasons playing against or playing alongside Nikola Jokic. Before he was 40.6% from beyond the arc. But before that, he has a career high of 42.3%. It's a relatively recent string of, this guy is really, really good at shooting threes, because he was brought, because he really focused on trying to be this defensive disruptor that could occasionally hit a mid-range three, or mid-range three. What did I just say? Hit it, just hit a shot from behind the arc. But most of these numbers are really, really good numbers, but his best seasons, came alongside playing with the best, one of the 5 best playmakers in basketball history. And even then, he was getting, he's only getting older.
To your point, coming out of Georgia, he was the main player. He was the slasher. He was. Give him the ball and do everything. So first of all, it wasn't until after the Lakers stint that he really started to realize, okay, I got to lock in on that shooter role. He started doing it there, and when it clicked there, that's when he realized, okay, that's my role from now on. I don't need to try to be the go-to guy. Let me just start locking in. So I think from that moment, we started to see that transition, and it's we just got him a little bit too late. Let's be honest.
We did
as good as he was. It's kind of emptied the clip a little bit by the time he got down here to Orlando.
As good as he was, Desmond Bane is in my eyes, a whole nother tier of shooter that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope isn't. I feel like he's a lot more creative with his shots.
He can do a lot more.
I feel like he can do a lot more from behind the arc than Kentavious Caldwell-Pope could do.
Which he didn't until recently, so you got to give him credit, because he definitely worked on that.
I will give him credit for that.
And that's refreshing to see.
I will admit that. And just in general, it feels like Desmond Bane is he's always at every stop in his NBA career. He's always been a lights out shooter, whereas KCP, to your point, has always. He was a great shooter in high school and college, KCP, but in the NBA, he wasn't this seen as this lethal 3-point shooting threat until Denver. And we already saw it with Bruce Brown, for instance, a guy who benefited a lot from playing alongside Nikola Jokic. I've been making the point a lot, but I think Desmond Bane is a lot more independent of needing to have an elite playmaker by his side. And I think, in my humble heart of hearts opinion, that Paolo Banchero is, would it be unwise to say that he's probably the best playmaker that Desmond Bane will ever played with in the NBA? Over Ja?
No, I would say. I mean, if you watch it, Ja's not there to make plays. I mean, like to pass.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you're not wrong in that sense. Funny enough, though, the argument would probably be who our backup point guard is now. It would be Tyus.
That is a fantastic point.
So
yeah, it would be Tyus Jones. I meant lead playmaker.
No, you're right. Yeah,
but,
I would.
Yes,
I would say, yeah, Paolo definitely.
And we'll get to him in a bit.
While his assist numbers don't show what like you probably thought they would of coming out of Duke. Yeah, I would say from just the way he kind of passes, and when he's in that passing mode, you can tell it's a little different. Yeah, I'd have to, despite Ja being the point guard, I'd have to.
And my final point on the Desmond Bane thing, the return, I feel like the more I think about it, the more it's like, this is what's required to trade a guy who has I think he has 5 years of control on him, and is one of the best 3-point shooters in basketball. KCP, I mean, I've gotten to like know the guy from like the people around him. But from a basketball sense, Desmond Bane is just a clear upgrade for what the Orlando Magic need right now. I'm going to miss Cole Anthony as a human being, but there was always just some kind of like block in between who Cole Anthony is and what we need Cole Anthony to be, that Tyus Jones at this rate fits a lot better. And again, we'll get to him in a second. In the draft picks, that 16th pick probably would have best been used on someone like Walter Clayton. And I get the feeling that if we drafted Jace, we probably would have done that. But the fact that we did draft Jace means that we don't really need to do that. And especially we didn't need to draft Walter Clayton. And the 3 first-round picks, I'm a little bit skeptical about the Phoenix-Washington swap still. If we're being that's the only thing where, like, month and a half later, I still feel like that may come to bite us back if one of those two teams is like abysmal.
It's probably going to be a top 10 pick for sure.
It's probably going to be top 10 pick in a really loaded draft class, and that's what scares me. But 28, 29, and 30, the Orlando Magic should be good during all those seasons. At the very least, 28 and 29, and 29 is a pick swap anyway. So it's like, these are picks that if everything goes as planned, and Jeff Weltman, we know for a fact, is never the guy to give anything up unless he's confident that something is going to go as planned, or he needs to add value elsewhere. So I do feel like that this return, now that I've had a little bit of time to sit on it, is a really good return.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it was just, I think the shock initially seemed like an overpay. I think as you sit and marinate and really look at it all, it was a great deal for both sides. You still kind of question the Memphis side of it, because what are they doing? To your point, I will miss Cole, and I did want to ask this. You mentioned Jace, and I was having this discussion, shout out Nelson, the other day, and obviously there's some Cole bias that I have for sure, but Tyus obviously is gonna be playing that main backup guard role. That would be the main difference. You think him over Cole Anthony was really the move there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think drafting Jace is very interesting, considering to me he's just another Cole Anthony play style.
I disagree. I mean, I don't think you're totally wrong. I think that Jace Richardson is going to end up being the type of player we wanted Cole Anthony to be. Because the thing with Cole in college, we didn't know whether or not he could shoot even in college. I think we're pretty confident that Jace can shoot. I think he's a comfortable shooter. I think he's a smart shooter. I think he's good both on and off the ball as a shooter. I think with Cole, that was always a struggle for him, even, going as far back as North Carolina. And that never really turned into something because with Cole, it was like, we hope that he can develop into a shooter. Whereas with Jace, I feel like that's a lot less of an ask, knowing what he is good at. I think Cole Anthony's better in other areas. We are losing one of the best guard rebounders in the entire sport, and Jace isn't going to come right in and do that. But no, I maintain that Jace is who we thought Cole Anthony could be, and pound for pound, need for need, fit for fit, position for position, probably my favorite draft pick for the Magic in the last 10 years. And give or take, I've been very incorrect at a lot of junctures. This is my opinion is not
No.
you should consider.
No.
But,
This is again.
I loved this pick when it happened.
Yeah, no. This is kind of the second conversation I've had about it, and it's gone the same way. Again, I don't. Not that I don't like the kid. Not that I don't see the potential. I do, but I think we forget Cole. Cole was the number one player ranked in high school at a point. I mean,
he was.
Yes. The necessarily the shooting wasn't there, but the scoring was always there, and that was the thing. So it's just what is his role? And again, not a concern, but I guess the reasoning for bringing up the way I bring it up is if we lock him into the role where his job is going to be to come off the bench to score, who's not to say he's going to fall into the same traps that Cole fell into? And
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair point.
I think with Cole, the problem was we tried to have him as a point guard when we knew he wasn't a point guard.
He wasn't a point guard.
I'll give you Jace is a point guard. So if we're letting him play as a point guard, cool. But with Tyus there, I don't see him coming as a third string point guard.
Me neither.
I see him coming as a scorer off the bench, which the same thing Cole was. So it's going to be to the point. I think it's going to be a little bit of a transition from him to be just a lock and score, because I do see him more as a point guard, as a better point guard. There's no denying that. That's the thing, as a point guard. Now to see him lock in as only a scorer, I still think we're going to see a lot of the same inconsistencies that we saw with Cole. So at least early on, which is to be expected. He's a rookie, I get it, but again, it's I think it's not necessarily from you, because you even shouted out we miss Cole, but it's I think the excitement on Jace and the eagerness to get rid of Cole is kind of just surprising to me, because it's okay, to me we're seeing a lot of the same, or I'm seeing a lot of the same in what his role is going to be for our team. So I feel I'm hopeful that and again the kid's wearing my number, so finally I think we got a number 11 that plays for the Magic that's worthy. So I I'm hopeful he does
Sorry,
that
Mo.
number does. Yeah, let's not even.
But you know what I think is going to happen, and I'm probably going to pretty much almost guarantee this is going to happen. I think he's going to end up having the same trajectory that our other first round picks have had, that we've been doing for the past few years. It's a pattern where they're going to I think Jace is going to start the season at third string.
Yeah, no,
And and he's, if/when something happens to Jalen Suggs or Desmond Bain, Jace is going to come right in and assume that starting role, and then Mo is going to keep the bench the same. And I do think that when Tyus leaves, or assuming Tyus leaves at the end of this season, Jace is just going to fill that role right in, because the guy does play an awful lot like Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
Like, one thing that we forget that's very, but like, I think he plays like a really good mixture offensively of Tyus and Cole Anthony. Like a guy who you probably don't want taking every single shot, just because the guy has very clear size limitations. But like, if the guy was 2 or 3 inches taller, then he would be like probably a top 5, top 10 pick in this class. Like, again, he has a true shooting percentage of 62.4%. That's really, really good, because I mean, you'd think that's really, really good for a shooter. It's also that he's also not just a shooter. He's really, really good at getting to the basket as well. I fully buy that ability, at least one day to come. I mean, the NBA is a whole different animal. I know that, but like, Jace is a very, very crafty driver. Whether or not he finishes is going to be a story for, when he gets that opportunity to play consistent minutes. But I think there's a lot of potential for Jace to be really, really good in this league. And do you have anything else on Jace?
Again, I agree with you on the potential part. Again, I do see it there. Again, I just felt like I had to bring up that point because, again, it might just be my cold bias, but
I have a cold bias too. Like, I love the guy.
I don't mean it to disparage the kid, and I don't mean it to say I don't have confidence. I want that to be known.
Oh, of course.
I just wanted to.
I love Cole too.
Kind of chill a little bit is kind of.
For sure.
Kind of my point with it all. But overall, was happy with the draft pick. We got another NBA player's kid. I think that's never a bad thing. It seems to have his head on straight. So
absolutely. And it's really nice that we got somebody that, the Magic don't typically take. Short, offense first, a couple defensive questions here and there.
There's a need
like Jace Richardson, even to our detriment at moments. And I find that hilarious, because the other guy we took is the exact type of player that Jeff Weltman drools over. You could not genuinely find a better Orlando Magic draft fit based on what they like, what they think they can do with a certain player, what they look for in a guy on and off the court, tools, character, skill set. You couldn't find a better fit in a lab than Noah Penda. And I really mean that. We've never, with the exception of maybe Jonathan Isaac, we've never seen a more Jeff Weltman-like player in in a draft. Jeff, like J.I.,
since the
Mo Bamba, Noah Penda. It's like those three in that order.
Yeah,
and I would probably put Noah Penda over Mo Bamba, if we're honest, if I'm being honest.
Fits all the criteria, wingspan, length, athleticism, length. I think that's to your point, that was the I think that was the surprised with Jace, but I think it was a swerve that if getting rid of Cole the way they did, that they needed to do that to get another
For
replacement.
sure.
So overall, and with Penda, saw a little bit in the summer league. There's still a lot more to be desired, but to your point, he does fit the mold. I am a little bit bummed out about Houston. I felt like he was coming into his own a little bit with that shot. I felt like another year of him there just catching and shooting. I felt like he would have been a big boost for us.
I'm gonna miss Caleb.
So
Houston.
I will miss having him on the squad, but overall, just super happy with how that draft went. Sure.
Yeah, no, if you told me before the Desmond Bain trade that we would have ended up with Jace at 16, Noah Penda at 25, and an entire and we just traded our second round picks, I would say that is a job well done. Like that's good. Like that was good value. And I don't think that the Magic are a team that I really associate with
getting good value
in the draft, as much as they just kind of draft where they need to.
Besides Paolo and Franz, let's be honest.
Besides Paolo and Franz, yeah,
it's been pretty miss.
Really has.
Suggs. Sorry.
Shout out to Suggs, and I think Anthony Black really has been coming into his own.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. But we got Jace at 25, traded our 2 second-round picks for Noah Penda. That's pretty incredible. That's incredible for it's so rare to see such a beautiful intersect of need and value the way that it happened. I kind of saw it as Jeff and Anthony Parker finally got out of their comfort zone, drafted a guy that they weren't comfortable taking at 25, and then as their little reward for doing something so brave, they got their exact type of favorite treat cookie player. If that analogy makes any sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. Took a while, but I think they finally got what they wanted. And again, it's nothing but excitement. I think for them, for
not at all
Magic fans, for myself, for you, for all of us. All right,
I think we nailed it
for sure. All right, before we finish off here, gonna take a brief, not sponsored break, but this is a personal break, real quick, and we'll be right back.
This piss break was sponsored by BetterHelp.
Exactly. You know,
You cut that
it's
out, right?
no, we're keeping that in.
Oh, we're keeping
Now,
that in. Yeah, we're keeping that in. Hell yeah.
listen, 30 years old, the bladder gets
That's
a
real.
lot smaller, all right? Just happens, all right?
Oh, I
All
can't
this
wait.
all this water keeping the mouth moist, goes right, starts to go right through you.
Brilliant word.
But yeah, just kind of finish off, kind of talking about our off-season moves. We already talked about him a lot, but what do you think of the Tyus Jones picker? We've been clamoring that we need a point guard
Yes.
for the longest, and we got one.
We've been clamoring that we need somebody that can make plays. We've been clamoring for somebody that can shoot. We've been clamoring for somebody who can keep the ball to himself and not turn it over. We've been clamoring for somebody like Tyus Jones for like 3 years. No, shit. We've been clamoring for specifically Tyus Jones for like 2 or 3 deadlines in a row now. It felt inevitable that we were going to get Tyus Jones
And
at some point. And we did. And we do.
We kind of like touched on it a little bit earlier, but the more it wasn't until then that it just started hitting me. This is actually going to be really good because you remember when Memphis was top seed in the West, Ja was out for a good portion.
You know who took over?
Tyus
Jones.
And who was he playing next to in that backcourt?
Desmond Bane.
So shit just kind of sparked the light bulb in there. I was like, oh shit, yeah. My top 4 prediction, I think, is stamped. I think I'm gonna lock that in.
And not only is Tyus Jones like, the most obvious puzzle piece on this roster.
Should have been.
The fact that the fact that he played really well alongside our starting shooting guard, and the fact that our starting point guard looks up to him as a basketball player, as like a Minnesota legend, that doesn't hurt at all, does
Not
it?
at all. Well,
Tyus Jones, I felt like was born to be in Orlando Magic at this particular moment in time. Maybe not born to be, but this feels like his destiny for this particular year. Like it's I don't know if I could think of genuinely a better fit in the history of fits.
No, it's
just from a basketball, human, everything perspective.
Literally is perfect once you really think about it, and more and more it's like, yeah, this makes too much sense, and we should have did this last season if we could have, but I think it worked out now. I think it works out
even better now.
But it's like, again, it's like we got what we needed. I think everybody was kind of clamoring for it to come in one player. Again, like a Trae Young, a playmaker and a scorer and a shooter. But we're getting that in Tyus and in Bane. But we're also getting defense. We're also getting, we're also getting a player who knows how to be the number one option on a team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In both of them, really. Like even Tyus last year in Washington, you thought that would be a great boost for them, and it was for Koulibaly and unfortunately not Johnny Davis, but I think that's his own problem. I think that has nothing to do with it.
It had everything to do with the Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah. My fault. Don't mean to rag on you. I apologize. But no, man. Yeah, I think it's the perfect fit. And again, it's foolish that it was right in front of us for a while, and we as fans were kind of just overlooking it. I think now, once you really look at it, why did we not do this before? Yeah. So to your point,
perfect fit.
Do want to see Jace grow into that role long term. But I mean, if depending on how well the season goes, not opposed to bringing him back. You know, and that's the and which will bring me to my next point. Anthony Black. I think he is the most intriguing player coming into the season, in my
I think
opinion.
that's a fair take. Yeah.
He can go either way. I I truly did envision him as our point guard of the future. Um,
Yeah.
and not that I don't, I still do, but he's been playing more like a three in the sense of kind of doing a little bit of everything. Whereas that's a three's natural job is to kind of do everything. But obviously he has those point guard instincts still. It's just I don't know whether it's the confidence that plays into the inconsistency or just lack of shooting. I'm
I
gonna,
think it's more the latter.
lean more towards
Because I think
lean
Anthony
more towards
Black's confidence has really grown.
and to your point, you could see it, especially from rookie season to last season.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it. You've seen the growth for sure.
Yep.
And if you look at it, he was never truly afraid to shoot the ball. Now he hesitated,
No.
because he was trying to be smart, but he knew he wasn't a great shooter, and he was still putting up shots. So that to me was always encouraging. I just feel like again, is he going to take the step to be that point guard of the future? With Tyus there, it makes it a little difficult. So it's how does he fit in defensively? I'm not worried about it. I know he's going to contribute on that end, surprisingly. But does he settle into more a 3-and-D kind of player versus the point guard that he got drafted to be? We'll see. I think that's going to have to happen with the addition of Tyus and of Jace. I think he's kind of being pushed out or forced to be more off ball, which I don't think it's his best, is his best game. But for the team, I think that is going to be the best way going forward. I don't know what's your take on that and what you think.
I think I'm not expecting Anthony Black to be this insane shooter, but I am expecting him to. I actually think Anthony Black is going to be one of our best players next season for a couple of reasons. I think we've looked. Anthony Black has, again, we've seen it. The difference in his confidence, and is more so his comfortability on the basketball court, is night and day compared to his rookie year. Anthony Black, there were you could see the emotion all over his face in his rookie year. You could see him hesitate before making certain moves in his rookie year. Now that he is kind of fit in a lot more, now that he has a defined roster spot, and now that he's had the guidance of a year in the NBA, having a full season, championship veterans like KCP around to help him adjust, and even Gary Harris to an extent, though he's not a champion. Having that, in addition to having not much of a need for Anthony Black to be somebody that he's not, because what really isn't Anthony Black? The only thing that I don't think that Anthony Black can do at a starting point guard level is shoot the basketball. in theory, this shouldn't be a problem anymore, because it's not just, we have better shooters on our team. Importantly, we have more shooters on our team. So when Desmond Bane goes down, or I mean, God forbid, but when Desmond Bane sits, Tyus Jones comes up. When Tyus Jones sits, Desmond Bane's back up there. And if something happens to either one of them, then Jace comes up. Like, I think in an ideal world, Anthony Black should be surrounded by shooters for a large portion of his NBA minutes. Like, that's not something that he's had for his NBA career. And that kind of forced him to, be this shooter or to try and take more. Because again, like you said, he was never afraid to take those shots. Now he doesn't need to take as many. And I think having Anthony Black focus on the things that Anthony Black is good at, while continuing to work on that shot, of course, that's going to be really, really, really good as he enters the final season before he becomes extension eligible.
Agreed. Again, I just find him. He's gonna have to really assert himself to take that role.
I do too.
Because now with everybody coming in, again, he's not promised being a point guard right now.
He's not. Not at all.
So I feel like he has to go out and earn it, which I think he will. Again, he is draft night, and the reactions are not viral, but there's video proof. None of us were happy with Anthony Black. Draft night. I immediately after, I think I kind of like shut up and okay, this might be good. I think now we're seeing that come to fruition. Again, it always takes a little bit of time for these players, but I think now you're starting to see the vision of what Weltman and them were seeing when drafted Anthony Black. I think it was just pretty obvious that they were going for him, and it was just funny when it actually drafted him.
He wasn't a good fit on the roster, but now I think he is a perfect fit on this roster, which is hilarious to say in just 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but we have built this team around Anthony Black in a sense, around Suggs and Anthony Black's talents. I think it's pretty confident. I think it's a lot of confidence in how they view the guy.
Oh yeah, no, you're not wrong in that. And again, I think Franz being the surprise he has
makes things so much easier, dude.
That makes life so much. And him as our number 2, I think is him and Paolo play so well off each other. They really play positionless basketball. And
absolutely.
Then I really hope they're locking in this summer though, and shooting the ball, especially Franz.
Oh, for sure. And we have Eurobasket with Franz to see that.
Yeah, that's where I'm a little skeptical, because I'm like, I hope he's practicing shooting and not just training the train. But to your point, I think we'll see our first hand of it during Eurobasket, see if he's actually been putting in the work on that jump shot. Because if he gets to 35%,
that's an all-NBA. That's an all-NBA second team player if he's at 35%.
Exactly.
Maybe third team, but he's up there.
We got easy to all-star for sure. Easy to all-star.
Easy. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's about, I think it's time for him to lock in. But again, overall, as far as the rest of the roster goes, just pretty exciting, man. Some omissions this year, like we mentioned. Gonna really miss Cole Anthony. Above all else. Really happy to get Mo back. I think that was huge.
It's huge. He can't leave.
No. His energy.
I'm not gonna let him. That's the thing. He can physically leave. I'm just not gonna let him. None of us are. We love him too much.
Yeah, no, that was. It's funny because those antics are always annoying when they're not on your team, but when they're on your team,
They're awesome.
you love it. And I love every second of having Mo on the squad and big brother riding for little brother, and it's awesome. And we got we got that game announced in Germany coming in January now.
Yes.
That's gonna be
Shout out to all my German Magic fans and all my British Magic fans.
oh yeah.
That is so cool. That's so cool.
I've gotten a little bit of the algorithm. It's been a while, but we got like 1% of German fans that tune into the pod. So I know it's because of that. So shout out to you.
Yes, it is. Shout out to y'all.
For sure, for sure.
Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Botchberg. Shout out to Carola.
Thanks. So I don't know if you got anything else to add on, but man, I just finally I just wanted what'd you think of the offseason? Overall, I'll give the grade an A. Magic bias aside. A plus was possible, but that would be perfect. Nothing's perfect. I'm not gonna say that because we probably could have gotten. But fuck it, A plus. Because honestly, there really is not much we could have done better.
I think that's fair. There really wasn't much we could have done better.
And again, maybe it's.
I think you're convincing me too.
Maybe it's we paid too much on the draft picks, but fuck it, A plus. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Because I can't think of a thing that I would have rather seen the Magic do.
And not even that. Just look at the other teams. I mean, Atlanta did great.
Atlanta did great too.
Much as I hate to say it, they're probably number 2, but
I think there's nothing that I can say that I wish we didn't do.
Yeah.
Other than I think again that Phoenix pick
except losing Cole, I guess, because
except losing Cole. I'm gonna miss Cole. We're gonna miss Cole.
Yeah, this is bias. That was the first jersey I bought. I think I've expressed that to y'all. Cole was the first jersey I bought in a long time. So
he means so much to the city of Orlando in the 5 years he's been here. We're gonna miss him dearly.
Lost the jersey though. That's why I'm not wearing it. Or else I'd be wearing.
Bucks fans, you're gonna love him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Shout out to him going to Milwaukee, though. I'm happy for him. Get a chance to still be on a contender.
He deserves to be in the NBA.
He should be playing a lot out there in Milwaukee.
He should be playing a lot. Oh. Absolutely. I'm excited for that.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, that's going to do it for today, guys. Like I said, overall, super exciting offseason for the Magic. The most memorable since I've been a fan, which is 06. Or since I've really been watching. Yeah. So I'm trying to think.
Yeah. 09 and I agree.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the
great
year,
season.
I think the year that we after the finals that we traded for Vince Carter, like I mentioned, that one's right there in comparison. But I know I might have been alone at the time, but I had a feeling getting rid of Courtney Lee was going to bite us in the ass. And it's easy to say in hindsight now, but so comparatively to these two, whereas I don't really feel any negativity whatsoever, this offseason, this takes the cake as probably the biggest, most important one. I think
best in a long while. Absolutely.
And honestly, arguably in franchise history, other than Shaq leaving, I guess that's a little more franchise changing.
That's definitely franchise changing.
And Dwight, but that was a trade during the season, so
yep.
But point still stands. So let us know what you guys think down there in the comments. Again, going to be on all social media platforms, and we got it on YouTube. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Check us out. Check out Luke again on social media. Handles down there, L Scocci 34. And for me, ILJ everywhere. You got your platforms as well. And again, shout out to you guys for tuning in. Coming with some baseball very soon, since basketball, we got a little bit of a down period for this next month or so. So they got some baseball and some football content coming soon. So tune in, and shout out to you, Luke, and again, shout out to you, Kieran. We miss you, my boy. We love you,
Karen.
and you were a part of this episode too. So glad to